is it to have all the alumni coming in on Saturday?
Well, there is an awful lot of them, aren't there? I was hoping that we could get away with just doing like either just 03 or 04 or just 13 or 14, whatever, but squeezing both of them in at the same time, mostly because of logistics, you know, when everybody can be available. We've had these things in the past, and half the team's available, the other half, but I know our players are excited about it. And the players themselves are excited to come back and see what's going on up here. And you know, there's a whole bunch of things planned, and hopefully they'll get a chance to see a great game.
It kind of jacks up the atmosphere a little bit, even more. To
I think so. I think so.
Out, but.
Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty exciting night for everybody. Well, you know, back in those crazy days, what made it, I think, what it became was partly it was that we were in the same league, and that we would sometimes play each other. If we weren't careful, that would be the fourth time, you know, twice in regular season, tournament, and then the NCAA tournament, and it just got to be like nonstop, you know, UConn-Notre Dame, UConn-Notre Dame, UConn-Notre Dame. When we weren't in the same league, that kind of became a measuring stick, too, for both of us, both teams. Okay, let's see where we are right now at this point in the season. I do think that stability has a lot to do with rivalries, you know. You stay really good, you stay relevant. I don't know how many games we've played with Notre Dame where one of us was either 1 or 2 or 3 at worst, and the other one was the same thing. So that added to all the so yeah, it has, you know, they're a great team, and they've got terrific players, and they're good every year, and they're really well coached, and it's exciting to play them, you know, whether it's at their place or whether it's here, it doesn't really matter. It's just exciting to play them.
What does it do to take now this new team that you've had to reconfigure a few times now to the non-conference game again?
They seem to be pretty locked in, you know. I enjoy scheduling non-conference games during the season because it does take you to another place mentally. And a lot of times when you're playing within your league, you get tunnel vision, you know, and that's all you see. And this is a good opportunity to find out, like, all right, let's see what we're dealing with here in a month or so, you know. We certainly played a lot of NCAA tournament teams already this year, and we still got this one and plus another tough one coming up. I think those are exciting. They're exciting times. But I think the matchup is pretty good. You know, they got a dynamite young point guard, you know, and so do we. And they've got some experienced players, and so do we. You know, they're a high-scoring team that loves to play fast, and so do we. And I just think there's a lot of similarities between our two teams. So it should be quite entertaining, I think, because that's the easiest way to kill a rivalry, if you make it personal, you know. And I don't know that that's the case a lot of times in other sports, maybe because the coaches don't stay there for as long as, you know, Pat and I were here and Muffet and I were here. So it does kind of get to that point. I think other places coaches change, so it becomes, you know, UConn, Tennessee, or UConn, Notre Dame. It doesn't become, you know, him versus her and her versus him. And that's the part that just, I think, kills rivalries. It just, you know, it may have been fun at one time, but it lost its humor a long time ago. You know, I like to keep it with, you know, UConn versus whoever and leave it at that. I found that with the best players, you know, they do not like being out on the floor if they don't think they're ready. In their mind is, if I'm not ready to play, then I can't be at my best. And if I can't be at my best, I don't want people to see me not at my best. So I think she was putting a lot of pressure on herself, and she kept saying, no, it's not going to come back in 1 week. It's not going to come back in 2 weeks. It's not going to come back in 5 games. But little by little, obviously it's come back, and she's her efficiency rating's got to be the highest in the country, right? I don't know that anybody gets more done in the least number of shot attempts. So I should maybe figure out a way to get her more shot attempts, huh? I'm excited because there's been some conversations on the bench between our players that have been really, really, really good, where our older guys have really stepped up and been very forceful in what they've said. Then when we go in the locker room, we kind of bundle that together, you know, and build on it. Now when we come out to start the third quarter, generally speaking, that's not every time, there's a renewed focus based on what we've done already. When you start a game, sometimes this is what's going to happen. And it may or may not, but when you go into halftime, this is what just happened. And so you have the enemy's right there in front of you, and you can fix it. And they're pretty good, you know, they're locked in on it. I've been, you know, searching harder than I have in November and December for things that I don't like. I find them, but I'm having to search a little bit harder. So I'm pretty proud of them. I really am. I can't imagine being in their shoes, you know, after all that they've been through and having to go through this. So I just want the best for them. Yeah, I mean, I think the people around here on our program, I think there's a lot more. Okay, this is what it is. You know, it's not going to be great all the time, but it's going to be pretty darn good a lot of times, and we're choosing to focus on that. You know, I think the players coming back this weekend will be horrified to hear that. But it's a new world, you know, it's a new world. So we're strange new world. So we're trying to adapt to the strange new world.